All right, so I was going to just wing it, but I decided that God gave me these words, so I just wanted to actually read it. So when Matt asked me to share about my LL healing experience, I immediately said yes. I remembered that many years ago as a new believer, I was referred to LL, and I came here for healing. I wasn't sure where I needed that healing, but I knew I did. It was a long time ago when Kath and Andy were here. I wasn't ready then, although I felt I was very desperate for help. God had many good reasons for having me wait. He knew the timing, but I couldn't imagine why he was holding out on me. Years later, when Matt and Becky took over, I again came to LL, and once again, I wasn't ready. I desperately wanted to be ready. I wanted what was being offered to me, but I needed to wait. I didn't know why. I made excuses. I also didn't know that I would be back. I really didn't expect that I would be. My life totally fell apart shortly after this. I had tremendous losses and betrayals over these years, and I was very broken and shattered. I'd been terribly depressed before, but this time my heart was in so many pieces that I didn't think I'd survive and really didn't care if I did or not. I became truly mentally ill. I had an army of professionals helping me, including my church. Then COVID happened, and I was happy because it gave me permission to isolate, although I did not want anybody sick or hurt. I was happy because I could isolate, and was my favorite thing to do. I was kind of content in my crippled world, and I felt artificially safe and protected. Once things started opening up again after COVID, I went to church, and a friend introduced me to Kathy because she knows Kathy loves Jewish people, and I'm 100% Jewish. And Kathy and I, because I'm so Jewish, became fast friends. She saw my desperate need for help, and she spent a lot of time listening. She gave me as much as any human could give. She suggested I come to LL, but I was very resistant and stubborn. At this point, I began getting panic attacks. And I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 on top of severe depression and anxiety. Slowly, I began to trust her, and I agreed to come here. I reluctantly agreed to start Explore A, and I wasn't happy about it. Ask Kathy. She would tell me that I will feel better before the end of Explore A. I vehemently told her I wouldn't. Right? I'm not kidding. I was insistent. During this time, I still had an army of my medications and my diagnosis, and I just cried continuously. I discovered about that time that I was sexually abused as a young child, and one betrayal after another unraveled and changed the landscape of my entire childhood. And I'm 65 years old. This is just 2 years ago, I think. So now I knew I wasn't crazy, but in a way, I was more broken than ever. LL, the staff, Explore School, and the teaching slowly changed me. It didn't bring me back to who I was, that Sandy was no more. It brought me to God. He showed me through his love and the love of this family who I am and how I'm seen and loved. And I'm told that I'm also quirky, peculiar, and lovable. And I can finally embrace that. He showed me who he is and that he continuously calls to me to show me more and more of who he is and who we are together. He healed me, he made me whole, and he filled my broken heart with his. Kathy would tell me that by October last year I would be better and that I would feel better. I fought her. I told her emphatically that she was wrong and I wasn't going to feel better, but she was right. Suddenly I was better. Suddenly I could see the light and I wanted to be in the light. No more hiding, no more depression. I didn't do anything but show up. No hard works, no forcing anything on myself. I just showed up. So to close, it became clear that God knew the timing for me. He knew I had to go through all of the tremendous betrayal and losses, and only after that would I discover the horrifying new awarenesses of the abuse and betrayals of my childhood. It wouldn't have worked in any other order that I myself could have put in. God's timeline was perfect, and I will stand firmly in my continued healing because of the gift of LL's teachings and love I received. There are things in this healing I said I would never do. I dreaded creativity. I said I'd never do flags and dancing. And I repeatedly said no to my pastor who wanted me to do our Overflow Today videos. As a matter of fact, I told him, if I ever say yes to you, you will know God's healed me. I've creatively created, I've danced with flags, and I love making videos with my pastor, Chris, now. So to say I'm blessed and grateful to God and LL is more than an understatement. And I'm blessed to be a tiny part of this family as I begin to walk alongside others who need the gift of healing at LL too.